A decorated four-star general, Marcus Dalton, was handcuffed on the street for nothing more than driving while black. Officer Travis Dent didn't bother checking his ID. He saw a threat, not a hero. But Dent had no idea who he was humiliating, or how fast the truth would strike back. But just wait until you see how this explosive story turns, and why justice, in the end, came out on top. "Step out of the vehicle, now." The voice was sharp, rehearsed, commanding in the way cheap authority always tried to be. Marcus Dalton didn't move. His eyes shifted once, calmly, to the side mirror. Red and blue reflected across the glass. A cruiser. One cop. Lights still spinning. He looked forward again. "I asked you a question," the officer said, stepping closer, hand already grazing his weapon. Marcus sighed. His voice came low, composed. "Is there a legal reason, officer?" The cop snorted. "You're acting suspicious. Blacked out Escalade. Tags don't match the system." Marcus kept his voice even. "They're diplomatic plates, registered through the Department of Defense. I don't care if they're from the moon. Step out." That was the moment. That pause. One heartbeat too long. The officer's hand gripped his holster now. Full palm. Ready. Marcus unclicked his belt. Slowly opened the door. He stepped out, 6'4", medals still pinned from a morning briefing. Dark green uniform, razor creases, boots that had walked through war zones. Didn't matter. All the cop saw was a tall black man in an expensive SUV. "Hands on the hood." Marcus didn't argue. Not yet. He moved with mechanical calm, palms pressed against the hot metal. "ID," the officer barked. Marcus reached into his chest pocket, lifted out a leather case, extended it carefully. "General Marcus Dalton, U.S. Army." The cop grabbed it. Didn't even open it fully. Just flipped it fast, then scoffed. "This is fake." Marcus blinked once. "Excuse me? You're impersonating a federal officer. That's a felony. I'm not impersonating anyone. I'm done playing." Handcuffs clicked. Marcus felt the cold steel close around his wrists. No resistance. Just silence. "Turn around." He did. Across the street, a teenager pulled out his phone. Recording. The boy shouted, "Yo, that's General Dalton. I saw him on CNN last week." The cop froze. Marcus tilted his head. His voice stayed low. "You're being recorded. You sure about this?" "Shut up. You're not intimidating me with fake credentials." The boy across the street waved his phone. "He's real. My dad met him at Fort Bragg." A woman joined in. "He's a war hero, you moron." The cop yanked Marcus's arm. "Back up, everyone, now." More phones, more shouts. Marcus stood still. "This is your last warning," the cop yelled, scanning the growing crowd. Tires screeched. A second cruiser flew into view, slammed to a stop. Doors flew open. "Travis, no!" a voice bellowed. Sergeant Fields ran forward, face ghost white. "Uncuff him, right now!" "What?" the cop stammered. "He's faking. He's the goddamn head of Joint Tactical Command." Silence. The bystanders froze, cameras still rolling. No one blinked. Marcus looked at Travis. His voice didn't rise, didn't shake. "You ready to uncuff me now?" Travis's hand trembled. Fields pushed him aside and pulled the key from his belt. Marcus didn't move as the cuffs clicked open. He rubbed his wrists once, then turned. "You made a mistake," Fields said quickly. "He didn't know—" Marcus cut him off. "He didn't want to know." Travis opened his mouth, but no sound came. Marcus walked slowly to his vehicle, picked up the ID from the pavement, held it up so every phone could see. Then, loud enough for the crowd to hear, he said, "Remember this uniform next time you reach for your gun before your brain." He opened the driver's door, stopped, glanced back once. "You just put handcuffs on the man who writes your deployment orders." He got in, closed the door. Engine hummed to life. But no one moved. Not the crowd. Not Travis. Not Fields. Because every phone was still recording, and every second was going viral. Travis sat in the precinct conference room, sweat bleeding through his uniform. The fluorescent lights buzzed louder than his thoughts. His leg bounced uncontrollably. Across the table, Captain Harlan flipped through a printed report, page by damning page. "You wrote," Harlan said slowly, "that the subject admitted to impersonating a military officer." Travis swallowed. I misunderstood what he said. He didn't say a word. You cuffed him before he spoke twice. Travis glanced at the wall clock. Still hours until shift change. It was chaos, he muttered. Crowd gathering. I had to control the situation. You didn't control anything. You poured gasoline on it. He looked suspicious. Harlan slammed the folder shut. He was a 4-star general. You cuffed a national hero in full uniform. I didn't recognize him. You didn't care to. Travis looked down. The captain leaned in. And now the Pentagon's watching. The press is circling. And you wrote a false report. It's not false. It's just incomplete. Incomplete? The video has audio dent, clear as day. Travis's face drained. Across town, Marcus sat in his living room. Not the office, not the war room. Just a man in a chair. Angela brought him tea. He didn't touch it. You haven't said anything, she whispered. There's nothing new to say. Marcus, he turned to her. He didn't hesitate. Not for a second. He saw me, and that was enough. Angela sat across from him, eyes searching his face. You've been through worse, she said gently. Marcus looked away. I'm not sure I have. The phone buzzed on the table. Unknown number. He let it ring. Angela picked it up. Yes? This is Mrs. Dalton. A pause. She turned to Marcus. It's the base. They want you to know it's already on the news. He didn't react. Angela's voice cracked. They're twisting it. How? They're saying you escalated, that you refused to comply. Marcus finally stood. They're already trying to rewrite the story. He walked to the hallway, pulled out a large, locked case, opened it slowly. Inside, medals, photos, letters from presidents. He pulled one out, the Medal of Honor. Angela spoke behind him. Do you want to fight back? Marcus didn't answer. He stared at the medal in his palm, then closed the case. At the station, Travis watched the footage. No edits. Full audio. His own voice played back. Look at you, thinking you're somebody. He looked at Harlan. I didn't mean it like that. Did you or didn't you say it? I said it, but it was taken out of context. What's the context for a sentence like that? Travis stood up. This is political. He's using it. Using what? This. Race, authority, influence, all of it. You assaulted a superior officer, Travis snapped. He didn't say who he was. He didn't get the chance. Travis paced, fists clenched. This is going to ruin me, he muttered. You did that yourself. In the background, a phone rang. Harlan answered. A few seconds later, he hung up. He looked at Travis. You're being placed on administrative leave pending investigation. What? No. That'll look like guilt. You're lucky it's not a suspension. I won't go quietly. No one's asking. Travis grabbed his badge, stormed out. Reporters were already outside. Cameras flashed. One shoved a mic at him. Officer Dent, did you know who he was? Did you call him boy off camera? Were you aware the general received the Distinguished Service Cross? Travis pushed through. But in the corner, a boy held up his phone. Full video. Streaming live. Hashtag, more handcuffed hero views. 780,000 and rising. Across town, Marcus stood in his office, tie gone, sleeves rolled. An aide walked in. Sir, we have a situation. I'm aware. No, sir. There's a statement going around. Not from us. From the city. Marcus turned. The aide handed him a paper. He read, Initial reports indicate the individual in question exhibited erratic behavior. Our officer followed protocol. Marcus crumpled it. They're not just spinning it. They're blaming me. Angela walked in. You can go public. I won't yell. You don't have to. Just tell the truth. Marcus thought for a long moment, then picked up his phone. Patch me through to the press secretary. The aide hesitated. Sir, you sure? Marcus nodded. It's time they heard the voice behind the uniform. The screen faded to black, then lit again, with his face, calm, measured, live. My name is General Marcus Dalton. I've served this country for 29 years. I've buried brothers. I've defended freedom. And 2 days ago I was handcuffed in front of children for the crime of looking like I didn't belong. His voice sharpened. I didn't resist. I didn't shout. But now, I will speak. The screen froze. Tens of thousands watching and rising. Cameras swarmed the courthouse steps like hornets. Dozens of voices clashed into static. Marcus walked through them without flinching. No bodyguards, no sunglasses, just a storm in his spine. General Dalton, what do you plan to do now? He didn't stop, didn't speak. But the silence screamed louder than 1,000 press releases. Across the street, Officer Travis Dent watched from behind tinted windows, fingers twitching, jaw locked. His lawyer sat beside him, stiff and sweating. They've offered a deal, the lawyer said. Public apology. Resign quietly. No charges. Travis clenched his fists. I'm not apologizing to that fraud. That fraud led the raid that freed 30 hostages in Kandahar. Travis snapped. He didn't look like a general. He didn't have to. You had his ID. Travis turned, eyes burning. He acted smug, like he was above the law. He is the law, the lawyer said coldly. Higher clearance than this entire department combined. I'm not backing down. You don't have to. Just be ready to lose. The door opened. A bailiff motioned. They're ready. Meanwhile, on the other side of the building, Angela Dalton stood beside her husband. You're sure about this? She asked. He humiliated me in front of children. And now? Marcus looked around at the cameras. Now I teach those children what dignity looks like. The mayor approached, smiled for the press. General, we're deeply sorry this happened. It doesn't reflect our city's values. Marcus didn't blink. You promoted Officer Dent last year. That's unrelated. It's everything. Reporters leaned in. Marcus held firm. Then a journalist shouted, General, will you be filing charges? Another added, Is it true the officer called you boy off camera? Marcus raised a hand. I'm not here to play court. I'm here to speak plainly. They quieted. Even the cameras stilled. I stood handcuffed while people shouted my name. Not because I was famous, but because they knew who I was, when the man with the badge didn't care to find out. One reporter whispered, Mic drop. But it wasn't over. A protest erupted near the courthouse steps. Dozens marched, signs high, voices louder. We see you, General. Protect, don't profile. My skin is not probable cause. From the cruiser window, Travis watched. What the hell is this? He muttered. Public reaction, the lawyer replied. You poked a sleeping lion. They'll forget in a week. Not this time. Inside the courtroom, the hearing began. Travis sat down, stiff as a plank. Marcus took the witness seat. No theatrics, no anger, just precise clarity. Did the officer ask for your ID? The prosecutor asked. He did. Did you provide it? Yes. What happened next? He said it was fake, then cuffed me. Without checking credentials? Correct. Did you resist? No. The prosecutor turned. No more questions. Travis's lawyer stood, smirked. General Dalton, you've served in combat zones? Yes. You've been in hostile situations before? Yes. So you're trained to de-escalate tension? I did. Would you say you have a commanding presence? Yes. The lawyer nodded theatrically. So it's possible Officer Dent felt intimidated. Marcus stared him down. He wasn't intimidated. He was comfortable. Comfortable. Yes. Comfortable treating me like I didn't belong. Gasps rippled. Travis shook his head. He's twisting everything, he muttered. Outside, the live stream of the trial hit 1 million views. In the hallway, students watching from phones, teachers pausing class, veterans in hospital beds texting, Did you see this? Angela gripped the back of the bench, knuckles white. Then the unexpected. The city attorney stood. We've received new evidence, Your Honor. Body cam audio, recently decrypted. The judge nodded. Proceed. A screen lit up. The room fell still. Travis's voice played. Another one of you punks thinking you're special. Then, fake badge, fake name. You ain't no general, boy. Murmurs, then shouts. Then silence again. Marcus didn't move, didn't blink. Travis's lawyer buried his face. The judge leaned forward. This court is adjourned pending disciplinary proceedings. Travis bolted to his feet. You're gonna believe a glitchy video? The bailiff blocked his exit. The judge didn't respond. Marcus stood, calm, measured. Reporters chased him as he left the courtroom. General, will you demand Dent be fired? He paused, then turned. No, I won't demand anything. I'll let the truth do that for me. A single reporter whispered, Damn. Then the clip hit social media, and everything burned. Again. The high school gym was standing room only. Students leaned in, phones ready. But when Marcus Dalton stepped forward, the room went still. No uniform, no medals, just a man with fire in his chest. You probably saw the clip, he said, but that wasn't the story. No one blinked. I've led troops through bombed cities. I've ordered missions no one ever talks about. I've buried brothers. He paused. And then I got handcuffed for driving while black in a country I've defended. Murmurs rippled. A teacher looked down. A student whispered, No way. Marcus pulled out a pair of cuffs. The same ones. I wore these, on American soil, not in combat, not as punishment, but as a target. The silence was heavy. A hand rose. General, what should we do? Marcus didn't miss a beat. Film, speak, vote, and never let silence become your legacy. Applause rose, but was quickly interrupted. A teacher walked in, phone shaking. They filed it. Marcus looked up. Who? Officer Dent, suing you for defamation. The crowd erupted. Someone shouted, He's suing you? Another screen blinked on. Dent, Dalton weaponized race to destroy my life. Marcus stayed still, calm. He's not suing me. He's suing the truth. Angela appeared at the exit. They want a statement. Marcus glanced at the students. I already gave one. He turned, walked out. The crowd behind him stood taller. Black screen. One line faded in. They saw the cuffs, but they'll remember the courage.